Man, how long's it been, bro?
Bro, 2 months?
Something like that?
3?
I feel like we need to relax ourselves before we jump into it.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Let's do it.
You're ready?
Roll it.
How was that?
I love that sound.
Everyone feels good? ASMR?
Bro, ASMR, bro, always brings me down just a little bit to the right move.
So I'm not going to say what I always say. Eric says it's kind of cringy. So instead of logos, if anybody wants to sponsor us and our inconsistency to the tens and tens that watch us, reach out to us. Go back at it, Eric and Daniel.
Hey, back at it, 2024, first one.
And it's crazy, bro. I feel like Texas said, now we're going to skip spring.
Oh, we're jumping into summer?
Bro.
We had an early spring.
I don't know if you call it spring, 96 degrees.
Hey, man. But look, hey, we're starting it off with a bang, though. We got my man, Dappa. Welcome.
It's an honor to be here.
Yeah.
It really is.
Hey, we've been talking about it for
Two of the greats.
How long have we been talking about it? 2 years almost?
Yeah, just
2
about.
years?
We've been
Ahead
saying,
of me on?
Yeah.
Wow.
And he always promises, and
Wow.
this time we had to kidnap him.
No, dude, it's an honor to be here, honestly.
The pleasure's ours.
Yeah. Hanging out with you guys in the barbershop, you know?
Yeah.
Especially, you know, you and I go way back.
yeah.
Well, before we jump into the stories, I need you to formally introduce yourself.
Well, everyone, I'm DappaDan. I own 2 locations in Fort Worth. We have one in North Richland Hills and in beautiful Bedford, Texas. We've been serving the community now for 17 years, and just super stoked on what we do. We're passionate about what we do, and I'm honored to be here tonight. So thank you, gentlemen.
Yeah, man. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, thank you.
Appreciate it.
Heck yeah, it's awesome. It was, you could say it was due. It was due. Overdue.
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 Way
man.
overdue.
So what have you been up to, Daniel? I mean, I'm sure people want to know, hey, it's almost the end of the first quarter of the year.
Isn't that crazy? Time has flown. It really has.
Bro.
So I'm the first episode for 2024, gentlemen?
Yes.
Yeah, first one.
So you're the first being shot.
The first being shot?
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm about to upload another one that we shot in November.
So you got one in our
We're delaying a little bit, yeah.
Hey, it's all
But
good.
you're the first one shot, first guest of 2024.
Yeah,
Right
we got busy at the end of the year, both Eric and I, and we had to take a little break, but we're back in full effect.
I like that.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for having me on, man.
Thanks.
I've been watching you guys since y'all started. Was it been 2 years now? Yeah, you guys had some really cool guests, and you guys had some really cool backgrounds and different you know, areas that you guys have been in, or cowboy games and different garages. So is this the first in this garage?
No.
No? This is
Yeah, we've been
Okay.
here, dang, almost a year.
Yeah,
April will be a year.
almost a
So
year.
yeah.
right on.
It's
Yeah.
been going, man. All types of guests, met all types of people, made new friends. I now get to bring, you know, a friend from a long time. You know, me and you've been knowing each other over a decade. It's gonna be soon. It's gonna be 2 decades.
It is. We're at 17 years, you know, and it's something that I've always just wanted to touch on, and I've told him many times, and I've told you. It's just, you know, when I first bought our very first location in North Richland Hills, they're off of Glenview and 26.
26
26. Yeah, I was.
by the Kroger.
Yeah, in the Kroger Shopping Center. I was super green and wet behind the ears. I was nervous and excited, and just I was passionate about the industry that I was in, and I was new to the town of North Richland Hills. And you know, in any successful business or story, there's always that one key factor or that one person, that one thing that like catapult you,
If
right?
you're going where I think you're going, his ego is big enough.
I do not have a big ego, and I'm humble.
But go ahead.
I have to give credit where credit's due. You know what I'm saying? And it's like it's something that I've wanted to do for so long, and I feel like I had the opportunity on this wonderful show that. So back to what we were saying, it was 17 years ago. I was
17.
I was young. You were in high school.
Said it 5 times.
You were in high school, and I was just starting off as a business owner. And as a matter of fact, I hadn't purchased that barbershop yet. I was in the transitioning and purchasing the shop.
Yeah.
And from how the story goes, from what he tells me, because back then you didn't have Google, you didn't have Instagram, you didn't have social media. Everything was still word of mouth, right? So he walks in, and I asked him, I was like, hey, how'd you hear about us, bro? He's like, bro, I was in the Kroger, and I saw this dude with the freshest edge up, and I asked him, where'd you get your haircut at? And he said, right here in the parking lot. He's like, well, in the parking lot? He's like, no, bro, like in, that little shopping center right there in the parking lot. So Eric came over and introduced himself, and I cut you up, I believe, that was like the first, I actually cut you up that first time we met. And I put it on you, right? And
it was good.
I'm sorry, you what? Say that
Yeah,
again?
man. It's 24.
I put it on him. So the thing was,
We didn't go to any Diddy parties
No.
together. We'll let that out there.
Okay.
Is that where you're going?
I have no idea.
Yeah, we didn't
understand the
know.
lingo.
We didn't know Diddy, so.
So what it was is I'm originally from Dallas. I'm from Oak Cliff. I'm not a Fort. I am now an honorary Fort Worth boy. I love Fort Worth, but
Okay.
so I went to barber school in Grand Prairie. So shout out to Mid Cities Barber College, and they do great things out there. So I graduated from Mid Cities, and there's in the Grand Prairie Dallas area. Barbershops are a dime a dozen. There's barbershops everywhere. And you were driving from Northwestern Hills to Grand Prairie.
I was driving from, technically Haltom City. It's Riverside, Haltom City.
Okay.
That's where I lived.
At the time.
But I went to Richmond.
Gotcha. I didn't know that.
Y'all heard it here first. Eric used fake addresses to go to
I
high school.
did not know that. Wow.
Yeah,
So
I was going from Fort Worth.
If you run for president, that's gonna come up. I'm gonna
That's
make sure.
dirt now, bro.
They got it. It's okay, Funky Town. Put on Funky Town.
Let's go.
Anyways, keep going.
Let's
Sorry.
go, let's go.
I saw a squirrel.
So he was telling me as I was coming to this area, he's like, yeah, man, I drive all the way to Grand Prairie. So he would take like three of your homies from the area.
Every Friday.
Okay, yeah, tell us.
Every Friday, we would go to GP off Jefferson, Grand Prairie Barber, shout out. They gave me my first
Was it
haircut.
Legends Barbershop?
Well, now I think it's
Now
Legends.
it's Legends.
In
Shout out
those
to
days-
Joe and Nacho and all those
Oh, yeah,
guys.
Joe, Nacho, I love you guys. But they used to be off Jefferson, right? You take a right, like you're gonna go to the Grand Prairie racetrack on Beltline, but you instead of taking a left to go to the track, you take a right. You go down off Jefferson. They were over there.
Dang. That's
And that's where, bro, every Friday before the football game, we would get out there, bro.
So you'd skip school.
No, we would leave school and then go over there. Sometimes. Sometimes, yeah, school could have been skipped. But yeah, we were driving every week, because in those days, I used to get a haircut every week.
So he had a car full of homies. They're all seniors and juniors or whatever, and they were driving all the way just to get fresh face, and I could understand. But the thing is that I was a kid from that barrio that was now in white suburbia, and what was awesome is I was bringing the hood to the suburbs, and I was edging up all the white boys, and if you could see the reaction that these people were getting, that I was fresh edges, right?
Yeah.
Fresh fades, and just things that they could not get at Fantastic Sam's or.
But why did they get those?
Pro cuts or.
Why did they get them?
Why did they get
Because
them?
they seen your artwork on my head.
So that's a whole nother story. So Eric would come in and I'd give him a consultation and be like, all right, so what is it that we're doing? And he would wear certain things, because you were on the football team. You were a wide receiver.
No. I mean, I was on the team. I didn't play a lot. I got,
Okay, yeah, we're not talking
I was
about
cool with all the
Yeah.
football players, yeah, but sometimes I wasn't on the team, you know what I mean? But
Okay, but you was on the team.
But yeah, well, I was cool. Yeah, I was
Regardless, your hair was such a factor when
Yeah.
your helmet was off that the opposing teams would come to me the next week and be like, whatever number that guy, what number were you? 12,
32.
32. I was close.
Yeah,
32.
32.
20 off.
The 20, yeah. Well, there's a 2 at the end.
They see me on the
Bro, this is
sidelines.
17 years ago. So they would come to me and be like, I want my haircut like number 32. And I was like, oh, Eric, yeah. So, and then before you knew it, Eric was bringing all of the other players, all of the other kids. And before I had all of Richland, North Richland at DappaDan.
Dude, all
And
getting faded.
Took my business from here to here. It was so much to where there was such a growth and there was such charisma in that shop that people were asking me, hey Dappa, like when I finish high school, or hey, if I go to barber school, would you hire me? It was getting to the point to where now I went from like a 1-2 chair barbershop now to 3 chairs, 4 chairs, 5 chairs, and I didn't know what to do with that growth. You know what I'm saying? So there was a dynamic about that barbershop that would just bring people there, and it was bringing so many different, school districts to the point to where we got approached to do a YouTube reality show.
Okay.
And you can see that on YouTube, and it's super cool, and it's super dope. But yeah, man, it was just such a really neat time for my small business.
Dude, and to me it was crazy. I remember seeing a dude walk in with Super Bowl rings, talking about Tom Brady. I won this. I was like, bro, that's that ring Tom Brady won. He had football players coming in his shop that couldn't fit through the door. Remember that? He'd fly in.
I love you, 7 Dukes, 11 Blues.
Hey, he would fly in, right?
So Devin Wyman, Devin actually was living in the area. He lived in Bedford, and he won a Super Bowl his rookie year. And it was, I think that was Bledsoe's last year. It was 99 was Bledsoe last year, and it was Brady's first year, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, you guys can comment. 99, who was it won that? But yeah, I had NFL players coming, and it was really neat because we'll use Devin for an example. Devin was very connected in the NFL. Obviously, he was friends with the Cowboys, being that he was now living in Texas. And I remember there was a couple of Cowboys that were asking him, bro, where'd you get that lineup? Where'd you get that taper fade? And he'd be like, nah, you ain't going to my guy. I ain't telling you who he is. He's my secret. So he would come back to the barbershop and tell me that he would tell none of the other, NFL players.
Like, Emmett Smith just ran up to me.
And I'm like,
you're like, what? You said that? Wait,
and
what?
I was like, Devin, why won't you put me out there like that? He's like, no, bro, you're a secret. I can't have other people looking like me.
He's like, I gotta be the freshman, bro. You're like, no.
So yeah, man, it was a crazy time. So yeah, great times, man.
Man, the growth, man. Like,
But hang on, I gotta ask a question. Because I've heard the stories not just from Eric, but from you as well. Y'all would do crazy things on Eric's head.
Yes.
Getting ready for football. What's the crazy?
Well, no, it wasn't football. Like the crazy haircuts probably came.
It was the one. The one was called there was the one called the booty, right?
The booties was started it all. Almost.
The booty was nuts. The
Okay,
booty was
so
nuts.
tell us what the booty.
That's what started it all.
The booty was, I was taking a number 2 guard from the front of his hairline to about, not to the middle, to about a third here. And then I would leave the rest of the hair long here, but it was a nice blend. So it looked like, they would call him, it looks like a silverback gorilla.
They didn't call me a silverback.
They didn't call him a silverback because they.
But now that you say that, it did look like
a silverback.
I was out there doing gorilla
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
So people would come to DappaDan's and be like, I saw Eric at IHOP at 3 in the morning, and I want my haircut just like him.
What were you doing at IHOP at 3 in the morning?
Man, I was young in those days. When you're growing, you get hungry at all times.
All time. Like, oh, look, it's 3 a.m.
I was growing.
The bar closed at 2, so they were hitting IHOP at 3, and that's what it was.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? But he was a trendsetter.
But you had to go to GP. You couldn't go to Ayala's to get that haircut. You couldn't go anywhere in Fort Worth. You had to go.
Isn't that a trip that he just brought that up? We were talking about that last
That
time.
is crazy.
You couldn't go, bro. Like, honestly, I looked it up, bro, because, yes, I loved going to Grand Prairie, but sometimes there was moves to be made that night. And if you go to Grand Prairie, then get a haircut, you gotta wait, come back. Bro, I lost 3 hours.
Yeah.
So this dude, Dappa, was right there in the middle of the Metroplex doing haircuts that you had to go on this side of the Metroplex to get, which was something that you didn't see. And then, honestly, I feel like that made other barbers in the area step up their game. And then you saw other barbershops pop up in the area doing fades and doing this, and then you talk to those business owners and they all know Dappa. You know, bro, because I even got friends, everybody knows Dappa.
It's crazy too because I've had to, because of scheduling conflicts, you know, I've had to step out a couple times, and it's like, where do you usually get your haircut? And it's mad respect, bro.
Really?
Yeah.
See, and it's important for me to hear things like this because I know I'm on the inside looking out, you're on the outside looking in, and it doesn't build my ego. I think what it does, it just gives me confirmation that I'm finally doing something right in life.
So
you know what I mean? So
we shot with Sway Fades, and we're about to upload that. Sorry for the delay. It's coming. But yeah, even sitting in his chair, talked about you, and it's crazy because there's so many dynamics that are very similar to the first time you cut me.
wow.
Yeah, the exact same like consultation type stuff, and this is what I do, this is how I do it, and it's just like,
man,
that's amazing.
And then you were messing around with like Discovery Channel crews and shit, right?
So I was very fortunate. I shout out to Casey Matthews. Casey Matthews was on Fast and Loud for I believe 8 seasons, and Casey was my client before he got on the show when Casey was working at Coca-Cola. And I remember Casey came in, I had already bought DappaDan's. He came in one day, and Casey, I never told you this, so this is crazy, you're gonna hear it here first.
just tagging on it.
Okay, so Casey's paint shop on Instagram. The whole scene, if you're in the car world, in the realm of
You know who
automotive, you know who Casey Matthews is. Real quick, I'll give it to you in a nutshell. I had just bought DappaDan's. Casey's my client. He is at the time working for Coca-Cola, and he comes in and he sits down, and just like any, you know, people, we're like a therapist, right? People come and just unload in our chair, right? And what they say is confidential. We don't share. Like so whatever you told me, it stays with me.
Because the last time I was there, I didn't have you.
Exactly.
He unloaded it on the group, not on the group text, but that's why people talk behind your back. Now I'm like, you know what? I don't care, and I never asked him
Are you
that
gonna let this man finish his story?
Go.
You don't finish his story?
Good point though, by the way. But then, so anyways, Casey goes on and he's like, and I wasn't Dappa yet, I was still Daniel. And he's like, hey Daniel, he's like, I've got this great opportunity to be on this TV show. And in my head, I'm thinking, yeah, whatever, because I hear so many stories, right?
Yeah.
But I didn't let him know that. I'm like, oh yeah, really, bro? He's like, yeah, I've got this great opportunity to be on this TV show, and it's just, you know, it's a car thing, and I'm going to be able to paint all these awesome hot rods. It's going to be on Discovery, but I'm going to lose everything that I have at Coca-Cola, like my retirement and my pension and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And I didn't know what to say, so I was like, what does your family say? What does your family think? And he's like,
Are you still gonna get your haircut here?
right? So he's like, my family says that I should do it because it's an opportunity of a lifetime. If you remember, Casey, you said that to me, right? And I was like, well then Casey, I think you should take your family's advice. And sure enough, he did. He was on 8 seasons of Fast and Loud. It's a great show on Discovery. They're still showing it it's globally known worldwide, and because of Casey, he got me in. I was able to meet Eric Hoffman, the rest of the staff, Richard Rawlings, and all those guys, and the guys behind the scenes. GQ, you remember? I remember you, GQ, and Johnny, and what's his name? Carlo. Carlo, what's up, Carlo?
He remembered you,
Carlo.
It took a minute. But
It took Carlo. I remember you, bro. The last thing that Carlo was on The Voice. He was working on The Voice.
What?
Yeah, behind the scenes.
Yeah.
And I can't forget James, the kid, my boy James. So because of Casey, you know, he got me, you know, well, the man upstairs first, you know, gotta give him all the credit for everything that goes on. But because of Casey, I was able to get into that Gas Monkey realm. And it was really cool because they would call me on a Friday, and I'd be super busy because you know how Fridays are at barbershop,
Yeah.
and I would have to hightail it from North Richland Hills all the way to Dallas off of Merle Street to get over there to cut those guys, and I'd be there for hours and hours, and then my wife would call me and she'd like, babe, when are you coming home? Like, man, I got like 5 more cuts to do, and it's already like 11 o'clock at night, right? But she knew that I was building something big, right?
So, and she's sitting here.
She is my beautiful wife.
She is. And you know what's funny is, I can only imagine, because there's been times I've been in the chair for 2 hours.
Oh, when he gets talking?
Oh my God, my last cut was 2 hours. I was in the chair for 2 hours.
But that's why people love to go to that
conversation.
We do.
Dude,
But I can only imagine, he's booking it Friday night, right? Having to go to Dallas to cut, 10 people. That's, if you times that by 2, that's 20 hours.
Yeah, this dude, I could only imagine how
That's so dude.
She's at home.
You're spot on.
Hey bro, she's
You're
at
spot
home.
on.
Hey, now
She's at home.
she just figured it out.
She's at home and she's like, what is he doing? He's not answering his phone. What is he doing at this hour?
She's checking my location.
Right?
Because you know how Latinos are.
That wasn't a thing.
It wasn't.
The
Yeah.
location
It wasn't yet.
Oh, that's right.
It was like that was like
That's why she was also.
that was like 6-7 years ago, right?
No, we're talking 10 to 12.
Time didn't fly down.
When it started, yeah.
Oh, when it
No, I
started.
had to tell people, I promise I have a husband.
Yeah,
He
he's
does exist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But look at what happened at
Is it worth it?
the evolution.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It was
Let
the
him- let him
evolution,
shine.
the yes, it's God is good, bro. He really is. Because if you would have told me as a little boy that I was going to be a business owner, I would have laughed at you. I really would have. If you would have told me that I would have owned multiple locations, I would have just been like, are you sure you're talking to me? And then you would have told me that I
You
would
were
have.
cutting my hair.
Exactly. I would have been like, really? Daniel? But, I have barbers that have been with me for 10 years, and I want to give a shout out to a very special barber. He's about to hit his 11th year with me now, and that's Teddy the barber. That guy was in his, he was a grade above you, right?
No, we're in the same grade.
Same grade, that's right. So his graduating class, and he would come and hang out there at the barber shop, and I don't know what it was, what inspired him, I don't know, but he was like, man, I want to be a barber. So to see him grow from a boy now to a man, now he's
a great man.
He is. I've seen him grow, and now he's married, he's got children, and he's given me 11 years of his life there, and it's just like, and there's others too as well. My son, Mijo, I love you, Daniel Jr., and we got Patrick, and Brandy, and Misty, and TJ, and Corey, and all, and if I forgot anybody, please forgive me, but it's
That means he
just,
doesn't like you.
It's just too many. You're enriching people's lives, bro.
and other families, you know what I'm saying?
And I'll tell you this, I don't mean to cut you off. I just want to make sure that there's nothing misunderstood. So we've had other barbers on, right? And it's no disrespect to them, because I got cut by Tiffany for the longest time, get faded with Tiff, hit her up, she's a great barber. It's just for my personal life, we just can't connect as much as we can. Eric introduced me to Dappa, and it just works schedule-wise and all that good stuff. And it's no disrespect to them. She's been on the show, she cut
Oh
me.
yeah, and you talk good about all your previous barbers.
Yeah,
Everyone who's
yeah,
cut your hair, you're
yeah.
like, but somehow your schedule works with that.
Yeah,
schedule.
it works.
Right.
It works, because right now he can work nights and...
Now he gave out the secret. I was not going to try to mention that.
Oh, my bad.
And all respect to Tiffany the barber, and the thing is, someone like herself, she understands the business, because I've lost clients because of scheduling or what have you, and I told my barbers, I was like, look, let me tell you something, God always provides. There's enough hair in this town for every barber.
Yeah.
There's no reason to get upset if a customer doesn't come back, because God's going to replace them with someone else, right? So it's a great industry to be in. I met my beautiful wife.
He was fading you up?
No, she was a barber.
I remember that. I was
a barber.
I remember that.
Did you scar her that bad?
She was a barber.
Lopsided fade?
She was a barber at DappaDan.
I remember when he hired you, and then he'd just be like,
No, but do you know what led me? Do you know what led me to him? My brother's edge up.
Oh,
You said I could trust this man.
I can trust you.
At first, at least as my manager.
It's so crazy because when I hear her story and she's like, I actually thought you were a black barber because of how you cut. And to me, that's a compliment. You know what I'm saying?
big time.
So
And-
I grew up in Chicago. In Chicago, everybody's favorite.
Jessica's from Chicago.
Oh, there you go.
Look at
So
that.
she knows.
South
She
side.
knows.
2-6,
So
Black
she
Kings.
knows. So when my
Wow.
brother came home with a fresh fade and an edge up, I was like, what just happened? Where'd you get this? Because it was not common. Roanoke, Texas, it just doesn't happen.
Yeah.
On this side.
Right,
You know.
exactly. So I was like, damn, okay. And that's how I met him.
Yeah, it's a beautiful story. So her brother was my client, and I think she was also, not that I think, but she was in cosmetology school, graduating, and he was like, hey bro, I'm fading him up. He's like, hey bro, you know, I got a sister that's about to graduate cosmetology. Would you give her a job?
You're like, no, we take barbers only.
No. I was like, what's she look like? And his answer was verbatim. He was like, oh, she looks like me. And dude, they look alike.
They look alike.
It's so weird.
They look alike.
Yes, it's so weird.
So either he's pretty or I'm handsome.
Yeah, one of the two.
But I
don't know
remember
if
he
y'all
was
heard that.
happy about the hire. He's like, Eric.
Hang on, bro. We gotta quote that. We gotta quote that just in case the mic didn't pick it up.
What'd she say?
She said, either he's pretty or I'm handsome. That's funny. I love that.
She's a
It's one or the other. One or the other.
She's a
But
Taurus or something. But what are you gonna say, Eric?
whenever he hired you, I remember he's like, Eric, she's gonna come on, and it's like, man, she's easy on the eyes, and he was all happy and giddy. And he's like, I'm gonna be professional though. I'm gonna be professional. You were like, I was like, bro, what? They're like, man, that's like the perfect situation. He's like, no, I'm gonna be professional.
So I don't know if she knows now, but there was a poll amongst the clients and myself. There was like when I was gonna start dating her.
Yes.
And there was like within 2 weeks, within a month, within 6 months.
She was in on it. She picked her spot. 'Cause she knew when to say yes.
No, she
so
did.
she won. She was
I
like,
orchestrated the double.
she had the chair. She had the chair next to his.
she was like, let's put up a calendar. Let's all put in $100.
I didn't think. Wow. Okay.
Oh,
I
my
mean,
She had the chair next to you.
She did.
Did I just throw you under the
I
bus?
made a lot of money.
She did.
Oh man, we were all in.
That's
on
why
it.
she paid for the date.
Bro,
that
how
night.
do you think
Oh.
we all came up, bro?
That makes a lot of sense now. Okay, I'm on to you. But for the record, it was a year that we had worked together when we went out on our first date. And for the record, I didn't ask her out. So there you
Who
are.
asked? She asked you?
Yeah, it was.
I don't think there was any asking.
Oh, she was like, hey, we're going
Yeah,
out.
from what?
Exactly.
From what you told me, it was
Hey, we're going out.
like Disney. It just happened.
It just
like,
happened.
magic.
You're gonna pick me up tomorrow night.
It just
That's
happened.
how it goes down.
One
Yeah,
day
it
I was
happened.
pregnant, living.
Whoa, hey, take it
No,
easy.
yeah.
This is a family show.
I started asking what barber chair can I sit in.
Right.
Like Daniel.
Right. So around that time, so she was there at the shop, and one of your good buddies, Fat Pat, came in, and I'm still Daniel at the time, and there's about 8 people at the shop. You were there.
Mm-hmm.
You were there. About 8 people. I had a guy in the chair. Patrick walks in. It's early in the morning, and he's like, "What's up, Dappa?" And from that moment on, I was Dappa. From that moment on, it stuck. So, thank you, Pat. It's something that I never planned. I didn't
Yeah.
orchestrate it that way. It was, you know what I'm saying?
It just happened. You're that.
It happened, and I'll tell you how the name came about. So I was working at Barbersville in Bedford, Texas, and I was fresh out of barber school, and everyone was talking to me about this movie called Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? And I had never seen it, ever in my life. So about a year working there, after hearing about this movie with George Clooney, I decided I'm going to watch it. So one night I watched it, and you know when something hits you, and that you know, like when you're gonna name a child, or
Yeah.
you know you're gonna ask a woman to marry you. It was like that, bro. I saw this movie, and I was like, that's gonna be the name of my shop. But I dropped the ER on the word Dapper, and I added the A.
Dappa.
So it's Dappa Dan's. It's what it is.
So it's so funny whenever I see somebody that I know that you cut, I'll walk in and be like, you're looking pretty dapper today.
And it's such, till this day, it's still a word that's used, and I don't know, I could be wrong, but I don't think it's going anywhere anytime soon.
No, it shouldn't.
Yeah.
I mean, you're DappaDan, and if anyone has it, y'all better drop it.
And that's a funny story, because now there's a lot of DappaDans, and there's an original, I didn't know
On Instagram
about
or
him.
something,
I didn't know about him till 8 years into being DappaDans, legally being registered in the state of Texas. You know, my tax ID and my DBA, my EIN, everything was DappaDans. I learned about a gentleman by the name of DappaDan out of New York. But he's been DappaDan since the 70s.
Oh,
and
wow.
he got sued by Louis Vuitton and Gucci because what his thing is that he was taking Louis Vuitton material and making hats, making jumpsuits and for rappers and stuff like that. And now, after they sued him, they actually brought him on, and now this dude's just done amazing things for the culture. So he's the original DappaDan, and I would like to say I'm the first DappaDan.
You're the Dappa, he's a Dapper. I
He's
mean,
a
it's
Dapper.
too different.
It is different.
Two
It is
words,
different. But mad love to him, by the way. Hey, real quick, how does my hair look, guys? Okay.
Who cut your hair?
My wife says. So it's right now. So my wife cut it for many years. A lot of my barbers would cut it. But
He fired
currently, yes, I did fire her.
No, you did not.
So when we decided to be official on Facebook and all that, you know, I was like, hey, you know, I do want to date you, maybe take these things to the next level, but I'm gonna have to fire you. And she's like, why? I was like, I can't work with you and be with you and live with you, so you're gonna have to be fired.
So who cut your hair?
And so my son cuts my hair right now.
Okay.
Yeah, he's gonna cut it for that little day. So yeah, go check him out. He's at the Bedford location, inside the beautiful Harley Davidson dealership there in Bedford, Texas.
How does mine look? I go to Pro Cuts.
Yours looks good. It looks great. And I'm his barber, and I love what he did the last time he was there.
No.
He called me out.
Let's not talk about that.
And that's
We
the
don't have to talk
thing,
about
is that we're human. Barbers are human. We're not
one time,
robots.
bro. I told you. I told you.
Uh,
that was a 2-hour session. That's why.
Yeah,
'Cause
that was crazy.
That was it. That
But
was
no,
it.
but look, that's his fault too for not catching it. So you're both at fault.
I'm just saying.
It's more me because I let him go.
Yeah, but yeah.
So to let the audience know, I left a line, I think, on this side of his head.
It was like right here.
It was right there. I left a line. I didn't catch it.
I had a chili bowl.
But he said, okay, I left him a chili bowl, and he said that he said it was pretty bad, and I let him leave the shop.
I didn't say that.
I let him leave the shop. But the thing is that he has so much respect that he came back and he's giving me a chance. And that's the thing is, as barbers, is like, and you know, for people that are watching, there's a lot of you been going to your barber for a long time, your stylist or whatever it is, and you know, we're gonna mess up on occasion. It happens.
Yeah.
We're human, right?
Yeah.
He's never messed up.
I'm never gonna tell you again. By the
He's
way.
never messed up.
I know this guy's never.
I'm never gonna tell you again. By the way.
No, I need to know those things. I need to know.
All right. Well, the last time there was like this one hair right here.
Yeah, and it's great. So, what I would like to share is for everyone watching, if you don't support the local business, man, it's so important for you to support the local business in your community because it stimulates the community, right? And we need that now with inflation and all the craziness that's going on with the election. Like, go support the local business. So if you don't go to DappaDan's, go to your local barbershop. There's so many good barbershops out there. There's so many great barbers. Go and support the local small business.
And you meet a bunch of great people
Oh, it's
at
crazy.
those local barbers.
Tell them what it's like. Man.
Oh, it's
a
great.
community.
A lot of times, like and again, same way. Whenever Tiff was in a shop it wasn't just her in a suite, but whenever she was in a shop with a bunch of chairs, a bunch of chairs, it's like it's not just a conversation with you and that barber; it's a conversation with the entire barbershop.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is, and that's what I love about the platform that I feel like God's given me because I believe, I have a spiritual belief. I believe in Jesus Christ, and if I could share with you how many atheists come to my shop that respect the fact that I believe in Jesus, I respect the fact that they don't believe in anything, but yet we can come together and we can agree to disagree, and we can love one another, we can respect one another. I believe a certain way in political things, and there's other people that believe differently, but we don't disrespect one another. We love one another, and I'm there to listen to what it is their opinion is. They listen to my opinion, and then they tip me fat, and then they come back next week. They come back in 2 weeks, and that's the way it should be in America. It's about respecting everyone for what it is that they believe.
2024.
It doesn't matter if you're brown, black, white, yellow, gray, blue, gay, straight, fat, skinny, ugly, pretty,
illegal.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't. If you're a Giants fan or a Philly fan,
Oh, no, hang on.
If you got hair, he's gonna cut it.
I'm gonna cut your hair. And it doesn't matter what texture of hair you have, what nationality you have. I pride myself in cutting every texture of hair and teaching my barbers how to cut every texture of hair. Now, there's some barbers that struggle with other textures, but you know what? We're human, and eventually cutting hair is not rocket science. It's repetitious. So the more practice you get, the perfect you're gonna get at it. You know what I'm saying? So
I've been there where people come in not to get a haircut, but they'll pull up with a case, and they're like, "Look, I'm going through it. I'm gonna be here for the next 2 to 3 hours."
and I let them.
That's the kind of vibe
And
that's going on.
And I let them. I can't tell you how many people have come in or going through a divorce, or they've lost a loved one, or whatever the case may be. They lost their job, and it's the barbershop is the place where you can come. We can different walks of life can come in and congregate, and just unite, man. And that's the thing about this country, y'all, is that we're divided right now. But can you imagine how much more powerful we would be if we would just unite? You know what I'm saying? So,
Like the movie, Barbershop.
Bro, I mean, you could save the country through barbers.
it could be a start. It could be a stepping stone.
And everybody would be looking good.
And you look good, you feel good.
Even with the chili bowl.
Woo! Hey, but even DappaDan messes up. And then, I'm only human. And there's a conversation in the shop. Can you imagine in the next, with AI and everything, how everything's evolving, you think that there's going to be robotic barbers where you just walk in a barber shop and you type in a code and then these arms come out and then, you know what I'm saying? And
It
then
takes away from
your
this.
nose gets cut off on accident,
Right.
you know what I mean? But I don't think barbers will ever be replaced.
No. So, I hate this because everything's great, but Jessica's yelling at us. She's pointing at her watch.
It's
And
time.
Which one?
both, well,
Yeah, the one that it looks
And
like the time.
How far have we gone?
we're over 30.
We're over 30. Wow.
We may need a part 2, and you've talked about
I would
bringing in your part of your team.
I would love to. Would you guys let me bring the team?
Dude!
Yeah.
Oh, I got a longwood table. Us Mexicans, we got tables in the garage.
Let's do it.
I got one that's like,
I have 2 of these.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah.
do it.
There you go.
And then you're buying the other chairs, so
Oh,
yeah,
that
that's
would be
good.
fun.
I would love to bring
A round
that.
table.
I'd be honored if you guys would let me bring
Oh,
that.
dude, for sure.
Let's do that.
Yeah, let's do it.
That'd be
And
great.
shoot.
That'd be a crazy episode.
It'd be fun.
That'd be fun.
That'd be crazy.
Yeah.
It really would. So
In closing, what you got?
No, hey, this is the guy. I know in the last couple years I haven't been as fresh on my fade, and that's
Ever.
my fault
Ever.
because I've been busy.
He
But
is-
look,
he's a dad. He's a husband.
he faded me. I came and got it. It had been since November since I got a
I
haircut.
wish you would have gotten a haircut.
Yeah, I wasn't, but then I was
He
like, I gotta do it.
Insane. It was crazy.
What do you always tell me whenever I come in? Because it's been happening the last year or two where I come in every 3 months, and it used to be every week.
Hey, if you come to DappaDan's, you can't ever get offended on how we talk.
But what
Because
you tell me.
it's all done out of love.
Tell him what you tell
But
me.
when he comes in, I'll be like, dang, bro, did you just cross the border?
Because that's
I
what
need to
I
see your
look like.
green card.
This time he was like, I didn't recognize you, bro. Like, he didn't even dap me up when I walked in. He thought
I
I
spoke to him in Spanish.
Excuse me, sir, do you have an appointment? Do you have an appointment?
I said he looked like the Mexican Justin Bieber, bro. He had this flop mop
Yeah,
going.
dude, it was waving in the wind.
And he said, he's like, Dabba, I literally have to do this sometimes.
Oh yeah, I don't like that. I don't like
He's
it.
getting out of the shower slow motion.
But hey, and then I twisted it up on him. He always gives me a low fade, and I was like, bro, taper me up. Something he's never done Well, you did a tape a long time ago with long hair,
But like-
and
like
it
this.
looks fresh.
Yeah, and I actually, if you go to my Instagram and it's DappaDan's, all lowercase, scroll down to the very, 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 very bottom. You'll see this man right here. I think Instagram started in 13 or 12 is when Instagram started.
When he was 12 or 13?
No, the year. The
I
year.
wasn't too far off.
You'll see this guy here. So, man, we go way back. So, I'm super honored to have been here. Thank you for the opportunity. And,
We'll have another part coming.
Yeah.
We'll have more coming.
So you never closed anything you went into?
That was my closing.
We're done?
Yeah. Oh, y'all
Well, he
both.
just did.
No, he
So
didn't.
he
Yeah,
did.
yeah, okay, your turn.
My turn?
look what I just did, guys.
No, I did it right here. Thumbnail.
Well, I have something to say.
Go ahead.
There's a lot of nice people out there. If you can't find one, then be one.
Ooh,
You just got inspirational.
right there.
I stole that from somebody.
Don't.
Should that be the cap, like the title?
It's a great
Maybe.
saying.
I'm not asking what it was. I've had a few beers already.
Oh,
So you might have to remind me.
Yeah.
Text that to me, please.
Definitely.
For me, let's see. Thanks for coming out.
Thank you.
Finally.
Thank you.
Finally.
This was awesome, man. I really enjoyed it.
To the tens and tens, sorry it's been a minute. We got crazy busy. We're trying to get on a more consistent schedule. I am in talks, we are in talks with Cousin Andrew about taking over our social media.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to censor him a little bit, but
I don't think we need to.
I think we
That's
need to.
him, not us. He runs it, but whatever, we'll figure it out.
it's our page.
Right on.
So we'll see what happens. But yeah, thanks for coming out to the tens and tens. And this is gonna go worldwide. We have people in different countries
Yeah.
that actually follow us.
That's
Even though
awesome.
there's not a lot of
That's
people watching, the people that do watch are scattered, so,
Yeah.
you know,
So
we'll recharge it.
I love it.
till next time.
Yeah.
All right, thanks y'all.